How you doing, people? Welcome back to another ESO video. Today is about the Nightblade changes to the update 44 patch for this year, Q4, regarding the invisibility skill. Now, as some of you may have read, the invisibility skill is changing, and for those of you that don't know, I'm going to explain it anyway. And for those that are panicking, I'm going to explain it anyway, because you might just be panicking for no good reason. Now, basically, the invisibility skill, Shadowy Disguise, or Shadow Cloak, whichever one you take, the basic one or the morph, used to be something that you could cast and would last 3 seconds if you had all your passives. Now, if you had really high recovery, you could spam this forever and never lose it if you built that way. If you built well enough, you could maintain a full magicka bar, a full stamina bar, a full health bar, and be invisible forever all at the same time, reaping all the benefits at once, which is a little bit naughty. That doesn't really apply any skill. That just means you need high enough recovery to maintain it. They've changed it so that the Nightblade now requires skill. Basically what they've done is they've decided to change it so that you can activate the skill and it will toggle. It will stay on, but it will take magicka every 2 seconds. Now this is quite an impactful change as far as cost is concerned, because it is quite expensive to spend that every 2 seconds if your recovery doesn't work. Which is exactly how the skill is made. Your recovery for your magicka bar is now turned off. So if you were to stay invisible for a long period of time, you would obviously eventually run out of magicka or go low, and then when you come out of stealth or invisibility, what are you going to do with that resource bar? Because you don't have your burst necessarily unless you're very, very careful about how much you have left. So technically, invisibility is not infinite anymore. And even if you did have it for a really long time, your bars would suffer and your burst would suffer and so on and so forth. So, Nightblades now need to apply skill. They need to manage their resources. However, when you go into Shadowy Disguise or leave it, you now get a buff called Born from Shadow for 10 seconds, which increases your damage done to monsters by 10%. And that sounds a little awkward because, hey, what about PvP? Well, PvP is coming. Don't worry, there's stuff for that already, technically, but this now adds a different side to it. I'm getting to it, don't worry. But what they're trying to do, as mentioned in the patch notes, they have said that they're going to reapproach some of this stuff. They haven't quite finished yet, but they're trying to make sense of invisibility. In PvE, apart from solo Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood stuff, invisibility is feckin' useless. It does not really apply any benefits to you in a PvE fight. DKs can take advantage of damage mitigation and damage done. Other classes can take advantage of damage done and recovery bonuses from all sorts of different interactions with the enemy, corpses on the ground, all that good stuff, all their own identity that kind of gets a use. The Nightblade doesn't get a use from invisibility. So now, if you go invisible and come out again, you can actually have an increase to your damage. So if you were to approach a fight invisible while everyone else isn't, first of all, you're not going to get aggro first. Secondly, you can plan your attack and come in with a nice burst damage. So how do we make this all work? How do we make ourselves completely invisible? Well, basically, we've got this here, which is great. Got the new banner. This, by the way, works across the water. It works invisible and everything. This makes you immobilization immune, snare immune, and of course reduces recovery. We don't have recovery anyway because while we're using stealth or invisibility even, we don't get that. Heals you every 2 seconds. We're a stage 4 vampire. Great, we've got heals, and we've got major brutality and sorcery. So that's active right now, and people around me can take advantage of that too. Just to make sure that doesn't de-stealth us. So we'll go invisible, stand near a bear. As you can see, doesn't affect us at all. Doesn't interact with enemies negatively at all. You can stay invisible. Brilliant. Now that we've got that out of our system, I'm going to demonstrate the rest of it. So, here, we've got immobilization and snare immunity. And healing all the time. Then, if we utilize this, obviously it's going to drain our magic over time. We don't have recovery now. How do we get our magic back? Well, this is very, very simple. This here, Crafty Elf Feet, is just for the flat magicka bonus. Obviously, the more magic we have, the longer we can stay invisible. You don't have to use that. It's just an example. This here, however, Prisoner's Rags, reduces the cost of sprint by 50%, and while sprinting, you restore magicka. Yes, you heard me, while sprinting. Now, I know you can't sprint while you are invisible. Watch. It falls off. Oh, no. Anyway. Stage 4 vampire. We're linking things together here. This is a jigsaw puzzle, people. 50% reduction to cost of sprint again. So reduction to cost of sprint twice. Watch what happens when I sprint. I go invisible. You see that? If you continuously sprint for 3 seconds, you become automatically invisible. So, let's piece it all together. If I sneak very quickly because I'm a vampire, it costs me next to fuck all. And I run almost full speed because I'm wearing the Ring of the Wild Hunt. As you can see here, I'm bloody fast. I've got reduction to cost on my glyphs, which you can change. On Breton, which you can change. But still, we've got that. So hidden is really, really easy to do. Invisibility, we can maintain that for a really long time due to our bar. If you have a war horn going off, it lasts even longer. But basically, I'm running full speed yet again. But because I don't have recovery, what happens when I run out? Well, here's the trick. When you activate crouch while invisible, you're still moving the same speed because of the setup. And if your stealth runs out, unless a guard spots you because you're in front of them, as you've got your passives and bonuses, this is what happens. Let's find somewhere where there's no people. I'm still hidden even though I just turned my invisibility off. Now I've got basic recovery now, which is not ideal. We don't want basic recovery, we want the good stuff. So if I'm in a safe spot and I sprint, 1, 2, 3, I'm now actually invisible, sprinting full speed, look at my stand bar. And my magic bar is going up because of Prisoner's Rag. Reduction to cost per sprint, invisible while sprinting. Rags is filling up the bar. I can now legitimately go invisible again, take a break if I need it. And of course you can pop potions inside invisibility. So if you link that all together, while invisible, hit your crouch, so you're actually sneaking as soon as you come out. Obviously he caught me there. Beat him up with light attacks. You can hide in invisible before or after. If your bars are too low, you can actually sprint into a fight with really high stand bonuses, actually invisible, and a full bar. I know the forums are going to go crazy about the actual change to the skill, even though it's supposed to be a benefit and teach you how to play a Nightblade actively rather than passively and have infinite recovery, but this actually does work. If you built for a few defensive or offensive stats, you can make this very, very nasty in the right situations. Not to mention this banner here, while it takes away your recovery, which I don't actually need, is really beneficial not just to you, but your group as well. You've got immobilization immunity and snare immunity. You can't be stopped. No one is going to slow you down. 1, you can go invisible. 2, you can teleport out of trouble if you really need to. And 3, you can't be CC'd. Absolutely insane. You can be stunned, but you can break out of that anyway. Right, so hopefully that helps. Hopefully that sheds some light on what they are intending to do and what the outcome is so far and what you can do to manipulate it already. So before people start whinging, try stuff out. You never know. You might be able to make something work in your favor. I'm not selling this as a fully pledged build as such. It's very similar to the ninja build that already exists, but I'm letting you know that just because something looks bad on paper doesn't mean it necessarily is. You can run all the way from the bottom to the top of Cyrodiil and back again and not run even close to dry on resources and be completely invisible. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you're not following already, hit the button, it's free. Don't forget the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.